Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome to my first reaction to episode 5 of season 3. We left on a bit of a cliffhanger with Erwin apparently being executed, but I don't buy it. Just based on all the little threads of information that are being dropped throughout, I would be very shocked if that's how he dies. It could be. I kind of theorized that that's how I felt he would die, that he was willing to do whatever it took to find out the truth at the cost of his own life. So in season 1 and season 2, I said that I felt like Erwin was going to put his own life on the line to discover the truth for the sake of humanity, and that the truth would not be revealed until Erwin's death. That Erwin's death would shed light on what's being hidden by the elite. But based on season 3 and based on the little threads of information that we have received, such as Erwin laying plans with Pixies, but also his conversations with Neil that have almost been quite sentimental about their time training together, but also reminding Neil about his wife and kids, almost seems like he's getting him on side. And now that the people know the truth of who actually killed Reeves and that it wasn't Erwin and it wasn't the scouts, we know that people are angry. We know that people are going to rise up. So if his death is a public spectacle, I expect rebellion and I expect people to start revolting, and it's going to catch the military police off guard. They're not going to expect it, and that's going to allow the opportunity for Erwin to either escape or be rescued by Hanji, because we know Hanji is within the walls. Hanji is orchestrating, she's organizing, she's busy, and I think she's probably going to rescue Erwin at the last minute using the people's revolt as a cloak, as a sneak tactic in a way, because it's not what they expect, it's not what they anticipate, and they believe that they are smarter than Erwin. They believe that they have won over on him, that humanity isn't possibly going to revolt because they've spread this horrible lie about Erwin, that they couldn't possibly side with Erwin and the scouts. And in their mind, they're like, haha, we've won, we've hidden the truth, but we've also kept people in the dark, we've kept them ignorant, and now they just blindly believe everything we say. And Erwin and Hanji have bigger plans going on in the background that I think we're going to see culminate in episode 5. And we also learned that Kenny's last name is Ackerman, which is kind of wild. I'm still believing that's because he's Mikasa's uncle, but who knows? I guess we'll inevitably find out. If you enjoy these types of reacts, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm to find other Attack on Titan fans that might enjoy a more in-depth analysis of the series. It would be nice to have you here to discuss the amazing story writing that is Attack on Titan, and also the deep intricate themes that they are displaying already. And God, this show is everything and more. I adore it so much. So without further ado, we're going to get into episode 5. I also love that Mobley is so like ride or die for Hanji as well. You and them. Them sounds like he means the people. He's entrusted something to Pixies, and this could be, maybe this is an important document that will determine the fate of humanity, whether they will be compliant with the current regime or whether they'll rise up because they deserve something better. And we know that Erwin is like his father. He's very hell-bent on finding the truth and pursuing the truth at all costs. So, could it be related to his father's work and what his father discovered that he has kept hidden all these years that could then cause a shift in the people's mentality and turn them against the king? I said that they were going to make this a public spectacle.
調査兵団を失うということは人類の矛を失うことを意味します。迫り来る敵から身を守るのは盾ではなく脅威を排除する矛です。例えば今この瞬間ウォールローゼが破られたとします。ウォールローゼの住民を再びウォールシーナ内に避難させることになります。ウォールローゼとシーナ、二分した人類による内戦の開始を意味します。よしんば壁が破られないにせよ、 すでに食料不足はウォールローゼで慢性化しています。ウォールローゼの住民である可能性はゼロではありません。
That's what
ウォール
he
マリア奪還。
is hoping happens, isn't
を
it?
切り開くにはそれしかありません。
そのために調査兵団が必要だと言いたいのか？
Yes.
相手の懐に飛び込むのは我々調査兵団の役目。引き下がるのみでは何の解決に
No
もな
matter
りませ
who
ん。
that enemy is, even if it's the
そ
king.
れともこの状況を打破する何かしらの秘策があるのでしょうか。
Oh, the silence.
人類憲章第6条、個々の利益を優先し、人類の存続を脅かすべく。
And what's his gain?
これに対する重大違反だ。
そう。
Tell us what his
再
gain
三にわたる
is.
エレン・イェーガーの引き渡し拒否。これは十分に人類憲章に抵触する。
But that's for the benefit of humanity. You fucking
それを決め
idiot.
るのは調査兵団ではない。
You want him for yourself. You see him as a threat. Oh my god, I'm so
君は
angry.
自分の考えに固執した。そして誘拐を装い、エレン・イェーガーを隠匿したのだ。関わったディモリーブスの口を封
No,
じてな。
he didn't.
これはもはや反逆だ。
今や君こそが人類の脅威となって
You are the threat to humanity, you fucking imbecile.
親密な関係を築いておったようだが。
我々が調査兵団に同調すると思われるのは心外ですな。この狭い人のように一度火を放てば燃え尽くすまでそう時間はかからんでしょう。先のトロストク防衛戦においては総兵士に言い聞かせ大いに死んでもらったものです。
One
調
spark.
査兵団がその火種となるなら
That spark's
今のう
already
ちに
been
消す
lit.
べきでしょう。何より巨人が壁を破ってきた際人があまり残っとらんようじゃ巨人に呆れられてしまいましょうぞ。
He's so crafty and manipulative. I love it because he's already in on what Erwin is planning. But in order to make sure that it goes ahead, he has to be seen as complying with the elites, with the interior. But this constant referral to one spark will create civil war, and you'll understand why the scouts are so important then. It's inferring that that's exactly what's going to happen. The spark has already been lit. The spark was lit in episode 4. We're now about to see the inferno.
陛下、よろしいですな。
Why don't you really talk? Why are you like a puppet? It's almost like he's a figurehead rather than like an actual
エル
king.
ヴィン、このまま終わらせるつもりか。
This isn't how it ends. It can't be. There's a bigger plan in play.
エルヴィン・スミス、人類憲章第6条に違反ありと認め、死刑に処す。これは即時執行されるものである。連れて行け。
Disgraceful. There's more to it than this. This is what Erwin wanted. He's not gonna die in this episode.
お前、
His story arc isn't over. Look at that smirk. He has plans in place. My boy is making moves.
ウォールローゼが突破されました。東区より避難する住民が押し寄せてきています。
駐屯兵団前線部隊は全兵力を東区に
This
集
is all a
結させ
ruse, right?
住民をウォールシーナに誘導
Like
せよ
it's not actually been
みんな急げ
breached.
住民の避難が最優先じゃ
It's a distraction so that Erwin can get away.
ウォールシーナの扉をすべて閉鎖せよ。避難民を何人たりとも入れてはならんぞ。
It's to reveal their true priorities. It's for themselves and not Warrose.
人類の半数を見殺しにするとのご判断
It's
でしょうか
never been about
先ほ
humanity.
どその者が言った通り、内戦が始まるだけだ。中央政府が機能しなくなる恐れもある。そうなれ
You
ば終わりだ。
absolute
し
cretin.
かしそれはあくまで可能性の話では
This is how Neil is going to realize that the government is only serving their own benefit because his family is east of Warrose. So his family is technically in direct threat of this supposed breach. I don't think there's actually been a breach. This is just to prove to everyone in the room that they are self-serving egotists They only care about themselves and not about humanity. Their justification for killing Erwin because he's a traitor to humanity is plain hypocrisy at its finest. And if this is not a wake-up call for the people in the military police, I don't know what is. You need to rise up and dismantle this fascist government.
しかし不幸中の幸いだろう。力は見つかっているのだ。あとは器が受け止めるまでここで持ちこたえればいい。
We found the power, which is the power that Eren possesses. So their vessel is somebody that is going to consume Eren, so that they have this power and that they can wield control. Does he speak? Does he say anything? He just stays in the same position, like a little puppet. Is he even alive?
選ぶのは誰だ？誰が選ぶ？
何をしている？
Who lives or dies, who tells your story?
できません。
Yes, Neil!
おい。
俺はウォールローゼの人間だ。扉の閉鎖は阻止させてもらう。
すまん。
私も加勢しよう。
ドリス・ザックレイ。
いや、ちっとも。
Yes, Zachary!
これは一体。
今現在、巨人の襲撃は確認されていません。
貴様、何の真似だ？
首謀者なら、わしじゃ。
It's a coup.
ピクシス。
And nobody has to die.
先ほど、駐屯兵団と調査兵団は同調していないと申し上げましたが、一言言い忘れましたわい。あなた方にも同調していないと。
You crafty little
この
devil.
エルヴィンと同じ思いを持ちながらも、結局はあなた方政府に任せる方が人類のためになるのではという迷いがあった。もしあなた方がより多くの人類を救えるのであれば、エルヴィンを処刑台に送っても良いと思っておった。
But they showed their true colors.
じゃが、今あなた方が答えをくれましたわい。我々の方があなた方よりは多くの命を生かせましょう。
バカなことを。ここを制圧したから何だというのだ。民衆が従うと思っているのか。
You'd be surprised.
王に貸し付くのみだぞ。
これはただの脅しではない。クーデターじゃ。
中央憲兵の制圧完了いたしました。
You're fucked now, my
兵
guys.
というのは時には王より上官に従うものでな。そもそも偽の王であればなおのこと、我々は真の王を立てるつもりです。
Historia.
そこまで。
これが本当に非常時であったなら、あなた方の先ほどの判断こそ人類憲章第6条違反。
Hang them.
さらに
Execute them.
偽りの王を立て政治を私したことを加えれば極刑に値するかと。
Oh.
くそ、起きろ追い森。
なんじゃ飯か。
黙れこの役立たずが。
Are we finally gonna know more? Like, what is going on,
勝ち
though?
だな。あ、嬉しくないのか。
人類はより険しい道を歩まざるを得なくなったぞ。
Holy shit. I wonder how Historia is going to take to being made queen. So much for her to take on in so short space of a time. It's Hanji!
でもテーブス会長の件はあれが濡れ衣だって証言は取れたからね。息子のフレーゲルが奮闘してくれてるよ。
まだわかんねえのかよ。王政の連中は俺たちを救う気なんかねえんだ。目をそらして殺されてからじゃ遅いんだよ。そうですよ。
Print the truth.
巨人に襲撃されたらもう何も残りませんよ。
Rebel.
会社も家族も。その前に真実を書きましょうよ。
All that matters is humanity, not your
それに
fascist
書かれてる
government.
通り冤罪だってことや王政側の圧力、君たちについても正当防衛ってことで、つまり我々は自由の身だ。
They can return.
そんなバカな。
とんだ大博打だったな。
ああ、
Like I said,
Yeah,
Erwin's
really
making big moves.
一人一人の選択が世界を変えたんだ。
Humanity working together at its finest.
それから中央憲兵の一部、その親玉とエレン、
ヒストリアはまだ別の場所にいる。早いとこ見つけねえと。
それなら手がかりがある。この戦いはそこで終わりにしよう。
Oh my goodness. Okay, so a sacred location where the royal family's power has been passed down for generations. The walls are composed of a naturally luminescent ore, which is thought to have been created by some form of Titan power. Wait, so what if it's the race family that's connected to Ymir then? What if they... Okay, so what? They're the blood of the king then. It's kind of what I thought initially, but now I'm like... I thought it was maybe to do with the Fritz, like colonization and overtaking. But now it seems like the race family are connected to Titan shifters somehow because they're now in a location where the luminescent ore is created by some form of Titan power. So Historia has Titan blood. This is so wild. So this is where Aaron's going to be kept. So it's an underground chapel. So it's going to be linked to Ymir. Is to establish the rightful ruler. So how did Fritz come into power and come to be?
エレンを手放し、仲間の命も自分の命と共に責任を放棄し、王政に託すべきだったのでしょう。人よりも人類が尊いのなら。
君の使命は相変わらず辛いな。死んだ方がはるかに楽に見える。私の理由を言おうか。昔から奴らが気に食わなかったからだ。ムカつくのだよ。偉そうな奴と偉くないのに偉い奴が。思えばずっとこの日を夢見ていたのだ。つまり君らもやらなくても私がくたばる前に一丁かましてやるつもりだったのだ。このクーデターが人類にとっていいか悪いかなどには興味がない。
I think it's good for humanity.
とした悪党だろう。
But then again, who truly knows? You just can't regret your decisions because you can never predict the outcome.
君の理由は何だ？次は君が答える番だぞ。
He wants to avenge his father, maybe.
私には夢があります。子供の頃からの夢です。
For humanity to know the truth. I love Owen so much.
二人の居場所の手がかりって。
これから話す。中身はほとんど5年前。レイス家を襲ったある事件についてだ。ウォールマリアが破壊された日だ。長女のフリーダは飾らない性格で。
His children died, didn't they? Historia's his only surviving child.
世間の混乱に乗じた盗賊の襲撃によって村にある唯一の礼拝堂が焼け落ちてしまったんだ。レイス一家が全員揃って祈りを捧げていた。そして一家の主ロットレースを除く一族全員が盗賊に惨殺されてしまったんだと。そしてそれはヒストリアの母親が中央憲兵に殺される数日前の出来事。
That it was intentional.
この辺りに連中がヒストリアを求める理由があるのだろう。
She's the only heir.
血縁関係か。その血に種か仕掛けがあるってのか。
Yeah, that has to be.
今はそこまではわからない。
The blood of the
私
king.
が気になったのは礼拝堂が全焼したところにある。礼拝堂は石造りだ。破壊するには相当な時間と労力がいる。盗賊なら取るもん取ってさっさと逃げるべきだろう。それにその盗賊を見たのはロットレースただ一人。
What if he killed his entire family because they didn't serve his purpose? He needed someone specific.
これが私の早合点だとしても、こんだけ怪しければ十分我々が向かう価値があるはずだ。
He killed his family, didn't he? His memories of Historia's sister?
なんだ
？What the fuck? It's like he's being served up as an offering to a titan. Like he's on a platform.
兵団がレース寮に送り込まれる。私たちが急がないとエレンが食われるかもしれない。
By who?
巨人になれる人間を巨人が食べることによってその能力が継承される。
Unless the intention is to turn Historia into a Titan and make her eat Eren. What that means is that he was injected, turned into a Titan, then he ate someone to gain the ability to shift. But who? Yeah, who is the question. But why did he have that flashback to Historia's older sister?
Historia.
They're going to transform Historia into a Titan and force her to eat Eren so that she gains the ability to shift. She also then has his powers, but her father then probably thinks that he can manipulate her for his own gain. What is he playing at? Because it very much gives the impression that he killed his children and his wife. That's the impression that it's giving. They were all in the chapel. He wasn't there. But he supposedly knew that it was bandits that killed the church. Something does not add up there. I might be overthinking this. That whole underground is definitely made out of the same material that Annie uses to freeze her body. So that's indicating to me that there is a significant connection to Titans and Titan shifters. So the Race family, maybe I've got it backwards. Instead of it being the Fritz family, it's the Race family that descends from Ymir and the blood of the king. And then Eren has a vision of Frida, but why? Did he somehow consume Frida? If we're going with the idea that the Reese family have the ability to shift, how would he have eaten Frida? But why is he having her memories? It's like they have a connection to each other. This all got so incredibly confusing. My biggest question is how was Fritz put into that position? How were they able to deceive people for so long? And was it because they wanted to prevent the Reese family from being in control because they were Titan shifters and therefore they didn't trust them because they didn't benefit humanity? I honestly have quite a few more questions, but the whole coup, oh my goodness, just everything I wanted and more. I knew that wasn't going to be end of Erwin's story arc, and the fact that he likens them to the spear of humanity, that they're willing to do whatever it takes to protect humanity. But now, would he feel that same way if he realized that Historia and her family are Titan shifters? Would he believe that they have the right to sit on the throne? Is that what this whole thing is? Is that the only reason they don't want them in power is because they're not human? I genuinely am not like 100% sure anymore. I had my theories at the beginning of episode 3, and now I'm not sure if any of that is correct. Because now we know that there has to be categorically a connection between Historia and Titans, and therefore it must be a connection between Ymir and Historia as the blood of the king, and that could just be the lineage that it's referring to. I'm so unsure of a lot of things right now. I'm sure we'll get more answers as the episodes go on, but as of right now, I feel more confused than ever. So I was somewhat right about how Erwin lived because I knew there was going to be a coup of some sort, but I thought it was going to be that they would actually get him onto the gallows and that the people would revolt, but instead they deceived them to show their true colors. And again, it ties into Erwin saying that he had a way to take down the government without shedding blood. It all hinged on him getting arrested in the first place, which is why I think he didn't try to put up a fight against them when they tried to frame him. He didn't really try to defend himself because he already had motions in play. Like I said, he was playing 5-dimensional chess while we were playing checkers. He already knew how this was going to play out. He already had a goal in mind. He had all the motions in place. Pixies wasn't going to pick a side either way. Pixies was not convinced until they showed their true colors that they did not care about humanity. All they wanted to do was protect themselves, protect their own skins, protect their own investments. They don't care about the people as a whole. I just want to know how Historia is connected to Titan shifters. Why underneath this chapel they have material that's basically the same as what Annie uses to harden her skin. I don't understand. To me, that means that maybe her family line descends from Emir. The fact that Eren sees himself as Frida, he sees himself as Historia's older sister, but it's kind of implying that by having a vision of her, like he has memories of her. You know that the memories are linked to the people that he's consumed, so that kind of makes you wonder if somehow he has consumed. But then how could he have consumed her older sister if it burnt down in a fire? Unless that's what Race is saying and that there was a bigger plot. Maybe Eren was injected in the chapel, because we don't actually know where he was injected. Was he injected in the chapel and he consumed the Race children? What if there was no fire, but the destruction that we saw was Eren having destroyed it in Titan form, consumed Race's children, and now is having memories of them? Because we know he has to have consumed somebody. Did Frida have the ability to shift back, and that's why Eren was able to shift back? He was able to transform back because of something in Frida's blood. Because again, if he's been injected, it doesn't mean he can naturally shift back. He has to have eaten someone with the ability to do so. So how has he been able to do that? This was a phenomenal episode. I love this so much. To finally see humanity get a win, bar Eren, obviously, Eren's just having a rough old time, bless him. But to see the rest of humanity actually overthrow a fascist government, they got the win that they deserve. We see that our gang are able to go back into the town, no longer treated as criminals. And it felt a bit like a win-win. It was a nice episode, but I imagine the next episode is probably not going to be as nice. We're probably going to see more of why Eren is locked up the way that he is and who is going to consume him, which I think, again, could be Historia, maybe as a way to avenge her older sister that was eaten by Eren. But I guess if you enjoyed this episode, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!